This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 287 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's tip is sponsored by Eco Gold. Visit them at ecogold.ca. Enjoy today's tip. Hi, everybody. Glenn the Geek back with you from Lexington, Kentucky, and you're listening to Horse Tip Daily. Well, I'm very excited to have Reese Koffler-Stanfield back with us today. She's a good friend of ours, and she's, of course, an international dressage rider. She's an up-and-coming star on dressage here in the United States and is well known in Kentucky for her training program, both in eventing dressage and dressage. So we're glad to have Reese on with us on a regular basis here at the Horse Radio Network. She's always a joy to speak with. And we're going to get back to Reese right after we speak to another top rider, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her experiences with Eco Gold. And that is the WEG competitor for eventing for Canada, Jessica Phoenix. And talk about, I have two sweethearts on the show today. They're both top competitors, and they're both nice as could be. So here's a little bit from Jessica about Eco Gold, and we'll be right back with a tip from Reese Koffler-Stanfield. Well, you've heard me tell you about Eco Gold. Now let's hear from one of the professional riders that actually uses the products every day in her professional career. And that is international Canadian eventer Jessica Phoenix, WEG hopeful for 2010. Let's hear from Jessica and see how she likes Eco Gold.
I love Eco Gold products. I've used their saddle pads and their cross-country and open front show jump boots for over a year now, and I'm just thrilled with the results. They're very breathable, they provide great protection, and all of our horses have benefited from using them in competition.
Well, thanks, Jess, and you can learn more about all of Eco Gold's products by going to ecogold.ca. That's ecogold.ca. Well, hi, Reese, and welcome back to Horse Tip Daily.
Hi, Glenn. How are you today?
I'm good. You know, it's always so much fun when I get to talk to you. We just enjoy hanging out with you so much. And your geeky husband, he and I sort of get along really well. You know, it's nice when you and I when my wife and I go out with you and your husband, because he's geeky, and you two sit there and talk about horses, and we talk about computers and stuff. I
know, and we kind of look at each other like, what are you guys talking about?
Exactly.
You guys have so much fun. We love it. It's so much fun.
Well, and it works out great, actually, for everybody.
I know. My husband is so excited to talk about someone that he can commiserate with the horses and then talk something he enjoys.
Yeah, well, and being a horse husband and going out sometimes with, if you're going out and all the other people are horsey people, it's like, oh, do I have to sit here for the whole night? You know?
He tries to avoid those occasions, I think.
Yeah, I think most of us do, actually. All right, well, what do we and of course, Reese is our dressage rider. She's done a number of tips with us now, and we always enjoy every single one. She's we call her the local legend here in Lexington as far as dressage goes. And the horse world, everybody loves Reese. So are you embarrassed yet? Are you blushing?
I'm totally blushing, actually. I'm in my office and blushing.
I'm good at that. You know that.
I know.
All right, so how are we helping people today?
Today I'm talking about remembering the scale of training. This is a really important
Does that mean make sure your horse isn't too fat?
Well, that's also a good thing. There's actually a system that we use in the United States, and it's actually adapted from a German system. You can find in the USDF magazines, they're always talking about the scale of training. And the scale that I use is one that I learned when I was in Germany. So there's been some modifications to the U.S. scale. But the basic scale is it starts with rhythm and relaxation. Then it goes to contact, forward, straightness, collection. So as we go through the day, depending on, there's lots of variables and different ways to use the scale. But really what we're talking about is every day, is my horse, when he comes out of the barn, is he relaxed and walk, trotting, and cantering in rhythm? That's your first one.
Okay.
Then your next one is, can I have contact with my horse? And I describe contact as Glenn, like when you and I shake hands, it's the same thing with the horse. When you have the reins in your hands, that is, you're basically shaking hands with your horse. You have contact with your horse. And when you shake someone's hand, there's a nice sweet spot. Keep your elbow bent, and I grab your hand, Glenn, and I don't want to grab it too strong. I don't want to grab it too soft, but I want a nice, firm connection when we shake hands. Same thing with the horse. When you take up the reins, you don't want to be pulling. You don't want to be too light, because they feel that awkwardness when you have the contact like that.
Okay.
So that's sort of the contact type of the scale. And sometimes with horses, you're on a greenie beanie, and they may be just a learning contact, and that's fine. So you work on your rhythm and relaxation, and then your focus and training is on that contact, and that's fine. That's no problem. But then on a little bit more advanced horse, the next one is forward, and the ability to kind of have impulsion and be able to actually make some differences in your horse's gait. So can I push my horse forward? Can I bring my horse back? That's what it's talking about with the forward. And again, you need rhythm and relaxation and contact to be able to do that. You can see you start kind of moving up and down the scale, and there's this nice kind of flow to the scale, and that's why we keep it in mind. And I have a poster in the barn, and that's why. So when people walk by, they know, okay, my contact, there's a little problem there. Reese, can we work on the contact if I'm having trouble with my, let's say, collected canter, so that we can kind of pinpoint the problem on the scale. And the next one after forward is straightness.
Is what? I didn't understand that.
Straightness.
Straightness, okay.
We've all ridden crooked horses.
Right.
And that's, so we need to be able to ride our horse straight. For example, when you turn to the left and you're going more right than you're going left, that's a problem.
My wife calls them noodles.
Yes, the noodle, kind of a bad thing. We want them supple, and that's sort of all throughout the scale is the suppleness. Can my horse be supple? But the contact, but the ability to make them straight if you need it. With that noodle, I like to say if it's a noodle, you need to make it more like a 2x4. If the horse is a little too straight, you got to make him a noodle. You're constantly working different things. And then, so if you have all those things, the rhythm and relaxation, the contact is good, you're able to push your horse forward, you can make your horse straight, then you should be able to start some collection. And collection in dressage, really starts at second level. There is an uphill tendency needed in first level, but really the first time we see collection is starting at second level dressage and then the preliminary level in eventing. So those two steps, you should be able to kind of get up the scale before you show at those particular levels.
All right, cool. You always explain things so easily for us neophytes.
Well, I try, and it's a complicated thing, and we could do a whole show on the scale of training,
right?
Because it's a really complex thing, but we try to make it simple. So, because really, at the end of the day, sometimes people make riding too complicated, and you just need to step back and simplify it. No. Sometimes these steps are important, so that's what we're looking for. So that's what we do. That's what we're up to.
All right, so that is Reese's scale. And
yes.
and we, of course, you can find Reese at maplecrestfarmky.com, stands for Maple Crest Farm, Kentucky. Man, you got me tongue-tied here, Reese.
I know, I'm sorry.
And you can find everything about Reese on there. You can see some of her pretty pictures riding her beautiful horses. And, of course, she's right here in Georgetown, Kentucky, not too far from Lexington. And she is taking new students, so if you're interested, you can get a hold of her through her website. Or you can just drop me an email here at Horse Tip Daily. Well, thank you very much, Reese, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds great, Glenn. Thanks.
Well, thank you to Reese, and we are looking forward to seeing her out at the World Equestrian Games coming up in a few short weeks. Don't forget, you can follow the daily coverage on the 2010 radio show for all 16 days of the World Equestrian Games. Starting on September the 26th will be our first show. It'll be out by 9 o'clock at night. We'll be recording them live at the International Equestrian Festival in downtown Lexington every evening around 7 o'clock in front of an audience. So if you're in town and you're at the International Question Festival or would like to see us recording the 2010 radio show, you can do so at 7 o'clock. We'd be happy to have you. And then the show should be live and ready for you to listen to at home by 9 o'clock every night during the World Equestrian Games. It'll be a wrap-up show. It'll be an interview show and also a little bit of fun at the end every night. So Samantha, my co-host, and I are looking forward to that. And also Chris over at the Jumping, Dressage, and Eventing shows will have daily coverage during those events. She'll be doing 4 special episodes each during those shows, and we're looking forward to hearing what she has. And she's doing her shows. Let me think here. She's doing her shows live at the All Tech Experience right at the Kentucky Horse Park every day in front of an audience. So I'm sure she'll have some terrific guests that she'll be able to get down there to the All Tech Experience. We appreciate All Tech for allowing that to happen. Well, everybody, don't forget to check out all the other great shows that we just talked about at horseradionetwork.com. And I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, stay safe, everyone.